Now, when multiplying integers, we have a lot of signs that multiply with different signs. So for example, if I have like a -3 times by a +3, okay, we're going to figure out, oh, what sign is that going to give me? Now, if we take a look at this table, it looks very, we've got a lot of signs here, but let's just try and see what this table is trying to tell us. Now, okay, we're thinking about two integers that times together. Now, when we have two integers that are positive, they will give me a positive result. Okay, so a positive times a positive will give me a positive number. Now, in another situation, if I have a negative number and a positive number, okay, if I times those together, okay, so a positive and a negative will give me a negative number. Okay, now other way around, if I have a negative number times a positive number, like this, that'll also give me a negative number. Okay, now finally, if I have two negative integers times together, so two negative signs times together, it'll give me a positive sign. Okay, so that's what this table is telling us, and it's very important for us to know when we times two integers together, what sign is my result going to be. That's very important. Now, just keep this table in mind, and we'll try question number 1. Evaluate -3 times 4. So we have a negative number, and we have 4 as the positive number. So let's just bring our table back just for guidance, just for the start. So again, negative times a positive number. Okay, a negative times a positive number will give me a negative result. Okay, now from there, we're just going to figure out what the integer is going to be. So we know it's a -12. Okay, so a negative times a positive will give me -12. Okay, so this is how we use the table, or this is how we times two signs together. Now let's take a look at the next question. Evaluate -3 times -4. So two negative numbers together. Let's just try and look at our table again, just for guidance. We have a negative number and a negative number. That will give me a positive result. Oh, so -3 times -4 will give me a +12. Okay, positive number. Now let's move on to question number 3. Evaluate -4 all squared. So -4 squared. Now in other words, before we look at our table, let's think of what this actually is. -4 squared is -4 times -4. In other words, we have two negatives multiplied together. So if we look at my table, two negatives multiplied together will give me a positive result. Okay, so in other words, this will become a +16. Okay, so positive number. Now let's move on to question number 4. Hopefully we get the hang of how to multiply these two numbers and what these signs will give me. Now from here, let's try and multiply these two numbers together. Okay, just because they have both negative signs. The negative times a negative, again, remember, is positive. Okay, so a negative times a negative is a positive number. So that's when we multiply these two together. So what are we left with? 3 times +8. Okay, and from there we can just calculate whatever that is. It's 24. Okay, so that's how we multiply these questions. Multiply these numbers in these questions. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. So here we have negative, negative, negative. So let's just do it one by one. -3 times -4. Okay, now hopefully we should know negative and negative will give me a positive number. So 12 times, what are we left with? -2. So from here we have a positive number times a negative number, which will give me a -24. Okay, I hope we're getting the hang of negatives and positives, and when we times the two signs together, what kind of result will they give me? Okay, I hope we're getting the hang of this. Then let's try question number 6. Here we have -2 all cubed. So -2 cubed. Okay, so if we write it out again, -2 times -2 times -2. So let's just do them one by one. Okay, we'll do them one by one. So a negative number times a negative number will give me a positive number. So 4, okay. Now, 4 times whatever's left, negative 2. Okay, from here we have a positive number times a negative number. Okay, which will give me a negative 8. Okay, so obviously timesing 4 and 2 is just 8. Okay, those are the easy part. We've got to understand how when a positive number and a negative number is times together, it will give me a negative number. Okay, so I hope you guys understand and got used to, you know, negative numbers and positive numbers and what result will they give me. Okay, so it's very important. If you guys are having trouble, just go back to the table from the start, okay, and then until we get used to it.